It's 10:40 a.m. on a Saturday. What do? You go see
Machete.
What's up, good movie lovers? We just got back from a early morning or mid-morning showing of Machete.
Which is probably the time to go is $6.
And theater pretty full. First, spoilers. Not that you really need to worry about spoilers for this, but we will be talking about everything in the movie. And the quick kind of summary is
Machete is killer ex-federale wronged by Steven Seagal
as a bad guy. That's
as a
cool
bad guy. It was great stunt casting. He gets hired to assassinate a senator, but it's actually a double cross, and it was all on purpose. The whole thing is this to get an electrical fence built up to keep the illegals out, but it's actually for the drug trade that Jeff Fahey's in this, by the way, has in collusion with Seagal. So, yeah.
It's all just an excuse for Machete to have some revenge, right?
Pretty much, yes.
So what'd you think?
It was great. It was interesting because we saw Expendables the other week, and these are both ridiculous B movies.
Yeah.
The only difference is one was on purpose and the other one wasn't. Expendables was completely an accident of nature.
I still think Sly knew what he was doing. We'll agree to disagree.
Okay, but Rodriquez, this was all on purpose. This was all totally brilliant. It complete down to the choppy editing and the ridiculous, like the cross on the face, like heavy-handed symbolism and the ridiculous dialogue and the
music cues.
There was like a porn music every time, and then like the there were
you gotta have and ass.
Totally, there was everywhere.
Swearing, cheesy lines.
Exactly, and then the great, the violence was phenomenal and really like kind of bad special effects and everything. Basically, I mean, if you saw the trailer from the Grindhouse movie. This is that movie. It's the movie that the trailer promised, and it delivers.
It hits every single moment that they showed in the trailer.
Right.
The only reason to see this is if you saw Grindhouse, you love the trailer, you're in the mood to see a B movie.
Yeah,
there's no really way to be disappointed with
exactly. Yeah, if you're going in for any kind of serious action movie, or like if you don't have a heavy sensibility for irony.
Yeah.
When going into this, you won't really enjoy it all that much. You will, because it's fun. It is a parody and flawless reenactment of those cheesy 70s Grindhouse movies.
Yeah.
It is that.
Yeah. It's the third film for that Grindhouse. It's the trilogy now.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So
and vastly superior, I think, to both of the entries in that movie. Although I like Planetero a lot. That was a lot of fun. But.
Yeah, I think that this is way more authentic in terms of like what they were going for.
Well, the best part of the Grindhouse double feature was the coming attractions. Speaking of which, have you seen the coming attraction for Rutger Hauer as Hobo with a Shotgun?
No.
Go online. Go right now. Pause this.
Oh, I don't
open a new window.
Movie preview open Critic doesn't know about this. What?
It's the Red Band trailer. We'll go look it up after this is over. It's hilarious. Yeah.
Rutger Hauer?
Oh yeah, and he gives this speech in the beginning where he's talking to like this new boy. It's like a combination like Travis Bickle / like his character from Blade Runner.
Yeah.
As the Onion AV Club pointed that out. I think it's a very good reference.
Nice.
But yeah, it's...
Dude, Rutger Hauer. I remember he played like a blind samurai.
Dude, yeah, Blind Fury.
Blind Fury.
Blind Fury
is cuts the guy's eyebrows off?
Yes. Well, again, like bringing back all those great 80s stars, like Jeff Fahey, like Steven Seagal. Like they're, and
did it say introducing Don Johnson?
Which is so good. That was like such a nice little touch.
Dude,
there's
Nash
always that.
Bridges, Cheech Marin was with him in that series.
That's right. There you go. Yeah.
So let's talk about this. Expendables was just kind of a nice blow 'em up. Let's just go save some random country that whatever doesn't exist kind of thing. But here we have some social commentary, if you will.
It's two movies in one. It's like this great B-movie Grindhouse thing, but it's also this like kind of very political movie about illegal immigration. Yeah. It's not subtext. Like it's text. Like it's like the main... It's like the whole plot revolves around it, and they talk about it all the time, and like that's... And the bad guys are defined by it. Like the main bad guy is Don Johnson. He's like this rogue border patrol guy that's shooting illegal aliens they come across, and
it's so over the top that it kind of is allowed to address these issues, and in a very uncomfortable way a lot of times.
Yeah, too. I mean, well, yeah, because it gets to the point. Not only is it uncomfortable from one aspect where you see how racist. I thought the more uncomfortable point of view from I guess being a gringo is this idea of like at the end there's kind of an armed revolution almost. By the illegal aliens.
You know what? I think I remember seeing something like on the net. I don't know if it was on Yahoo or whatever, but it was like Machete's trying to incite revolution in America. The liberals are trying to make everyone rise up.
It is that, but I mean, it's so ridiculous and over the top. You can't take it seriously. Like, there's a scene at the end, the great battle scene, where the network makes the phone calls, and you see like the day laborers are picking up, and the dishwashers are picking up, and then they all go to attack the good old boys network compound. But the funny thing is, they come in, like, in uniform. The dishwashers are still dressed like dishwashers, but they got bandoleros on. There's a shot of the guy pushing the Mexican ice cream carts, like running in with the ice cream carts.
Very last shot.
And then, the nurses come in, and they pick up the Uzis. And
they got, like, the go-go boots kind of on, and the
and then, of course, there's the lowrider that rises up and then smashes back down, killing the bad guy.
One of the best just car kills, whether it's Transformers or
Christine, any of those. Great car kill.
It's just like, here it comes in. It's like alive for that moment.
Yep.
There's also the Jessica Alba's speech was very Malcolm X's, where it's like, we didn't cross the border, the border crossed us.
And so, I mean, she's such a bad actress.
And we do get a shower scene with her curvature.
I love that they're just thrown in for no reason.
Yeah, they're like giving skin for everybody in this film.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the opening sequence really dictates the whole thing, where like Machete has to rescue his family or something.
He's killing everybody with the machete.
Triple decapitation.
Which was awesome. There's one where he hacks off the bad guy's arm with the gun, uses the disembodied hand with the gun to shoot somebody, looks at the gun, then decides, I don't want this, I'm gonna kill you with my machete. Like, throws the gun away and starts,
picks up the nude girl, starts parading her around, like spinning around. We're seeing every angle possible.
Right, she's totally nude. Yeah.
She double crosses him and pulls out a cell phone from her. It's like, and you hear like the sound effect, like. It's like, what? And then Seagal shows up with the sword.
And then there's Seagal,
And we
they do the
$6 million man effect, right? No. Just kind of a little. Didn't they do something in Kill Bill where like every time she pulled something out,
it was that
like some kind of effect like that.
That same idea.
And I kind of liked how Michelle Rodriguez. They thought that she was the she, which is like a play on Shay. Kind of the whole, right. I guess they just use the same colors, but they just switch that out.
Right.
So I kind of, I like how Rodriguez being very creative, just like spinning all these things and just having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how Rodriguez, fountain of just creativity.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's just a kid in the candy store. He's such a love for movies. Like the crazy close-ups, like just at the end, to have Michelle Rodriguez in the all-leather, like, bikini outfit with the giant automatic machine guns and, like, the side, like, shotgun.
The
and,
eye
like,
patch,
and the eye patch.
He's in touch with that teenager that loves to go to the movies and just kind of have fun and just like these wild imaginings of like, it'd be cool to have a gun here. And
we were talking about like Desperado, where one of his first, we finally get money and got to kind of remake El Mariachi. The scene where Banderas' like two buddies show up, they've got the guitar cases that like, one's a rocket launcher and one's an automatic machine gun. Like it's so ridiculous. It's great though.
And just in terms of like his Grindhouse sensibilities, the filming is just so on the money where like they close up on the wine cork. It's like, it's going to be used.
Exactly. It's so cheesy. And then right in the guy's forehead. Or the meat thermometer.
That was...
There's a scene where he kills all these home invaders with kitchen implements. And he uses the meat thermometer. And there's a big explosion. And the charred body flies through the air. And the meat thermometer's in his neck. And then the temperature goes up.
And like the woo.
It's a cheesy sound effect. Yeah.
Or like in the hospital where the doctor tells the nurse, oh, the intestines are 10 times the size of the human body. You mean it's 60 feet? And like, that's a setup for something. So what happens?
What happens? He disembowels the guy and uses intestines as a rope to get out of the window.
Which is totally like a Die Hard homage with like the hose off the roof.
Right, it crashes through the other window.
He uses the guy intestines. It's so over the top, so much fun. It's impossible not to enjoy this film knowing what you're getting into.
Right, knowing what you're getting
into.
And
that's just, if your expectations are set, this is going to just be a ball. I mean, that like everyone was laughing and cheering and having
applauding,
a good time.
It was just so much fun.
I'm always a big fan of like even this kind of movie. Try to throw in a little bit extra, and I think he did with just like using that social commentary of here's just kind of what's going on in the United States. Let's just maybe address it in a kind of a way. The Grindhouse or the exploitation films of like the 70s, those were kind of ways, even they weren't done like maybe in the most Oscar film caliber kind of way.
Kind of, addressing the social inequalities at the time. There's always the main bad guy, where the bad guy is the pusher, the guy behind everything, the drug dealer.
And it was very like, we had Dirty Harry being kind of like the cop who's tired of the scum on the street.
Right.
We had Charles Bronson kind of the same way with like the Death Wish.
Right.
And that kind of, that exploitation era, like Shaft or Coffee, it was like same idea where like needs to be justice. Like I think Jessica Alba here has a line where, like,
right, there's a difference between the law and what's right.
The right thing.
Yeah.
And like in the 70s, those characters were just exploring those kind of worlds where kind of mainstream cinema wasn't going. And now we kind of call it like exploitation or this, but I just watched something on AMC. I think they were playing Coffee or Shaft or something. I'm like, this film actually has something to say. I'm glad that Rodriguez I think he tapped into that. That's something that sometimes is missing. Like in Grindhouse, they really didn't incorporate that aspect of what the 70s exploitations did, where like they kind of were socially conscious. But the Grindhouse film, the double feature with Tarantino and Rodriguez, was just a little like, have fun. And this one kind of was like, let's put it all in. We'll kind of say something, but have fun with it.
It's interesting because I thought the whole immigration thing was kind of distracting, actually.
Okay.
Like I wish there would have been less of it. It was the core the movie revolved around. Everything was it was all about immigration, and I thought came a little heavy-handed at times and a little distracting. I don't know. I went not to get a political message. Right. I wanted to be entertained, and it was very entertaining. I don't want to sell that short at all.
I guess set it in some kind of world where something's going on, and maybe, I don't know, something like Battlestar Galactica where they can do sci-fi in the future, and they can really make it more allegorical or something. It's not so like, this is what's going on today. But, immigration today in the future would be this race versus this race in the planet, the neutral zone or something in Star Trek, Romulans versus Federation. Yeah. So they can be a little more subtle. Like, set me in, like, a world, but don't be like, this is a documentary, and here's how we solve the problems, like...
I mean, it was not trying to be a realistic portrayal whatsoever.
Right. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, almost like Starship Troopers. Kind of extreme. Like, I mean, not 100%, but Starship Troopers had that kind of over-the-top gore, just ridiculousness, but also like kind of had the war,
Well, Starship Troopers, I think, is one of the most subversive movies Hollywood's has put out ever. Yeah. I think it's so brilliant. I love Paul Verhoeven. I love RoboCop. I love Starship Troopers.
Total
Recall, all those. But Starship Troopers specifically, just because the whole movie is a commentary on fascism and on the military, and even down to the casting. I thought his idea of casting Casper Van Dien and Denise Richards and always no-name, horrible, blank-faced, almost Aryan, very good-looking actors, but very shallow, is a commentary in and of itself.
Totally, yeah. So, I mean, that's a good example where, like, film can hit these multiple levels. I'm always going to be the proponent of, like, just give me, like, the lasagna. Give me, like, 16 layers. Load it up. Give me the carbs, but kind of I want the meat, also at the same time.
But Starship Troopers, though, was incredibly subtle to the point of being... A lot of people missed the message entirely. A lot of people confused it as being pro-fascism because it was so subversive.
Yeah.
This one, it's right up front. Like, there's no subtext to this at all,
totally.
As I said. It's all right there.
And that's just within this true... I mean, it truly is a B Grindhouse
right,
film,
exactly.
So that's kind of what it succeeds at.
Yeah.
So then that's from
we should just touch on real quick the stunt casting of Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
By the way, it was a very nice touch.
Yeah.
As the kind of like troubled, girl with too much money and the drug problem, and like is doing porn like amateur website stuff.
Website.
Right. Just any movie that ends with Lindsay Lohan in a nun's habit and a gun, blowing away
shooting Robert De Niro. When, whose dream would that ever happen?
I know, it's just such. I love where pop culture is today for that reason. Quick aside, there really are no Mexican-American filmmakers of any kind of note, that can address this. So it's interesting that Rodriguez, in this total cartoon, was able to bring. I think he's something he definitely wanted to talk about. So you saw it as a forum to bring it out.
That's. Maybe some of these to be addressed, kind of diversify Hollywood a little bit more, too. We need more voices. But you got the talent. Talent is the ultimate democratizer,
Right, yeah, exactly. Edward James almost can't do it all himself.
That's right. I was expecting George Lopez to do a cameo somehow. I was serious. I was waiting for him. Like, every time they introduce a new character, I'm like, it's going to be George Lopez. I prefer John Leguizamo.
Where's John Leguizamo in this? Right, yeah.
Totally worthy checking out in the theater. Regular price, matinee.
Yeah, regular price, if you know what you're getting into, especially like a Friday night, Saturday night crowd would be a lot of fun with this movie. Just like all the audiences just cheering and applauding and everything and laughing it up.
You'll see it because the director, the genre, and the stars. A lot of stars.
So. And by the way, we even mentioned Danny Trejo just being great and doing what he does.
He doesn't even have any dialogue for like the first 10-15 minutes. He just says a couple things.
Right, because it's all badass.
Yeah, definitely check it out for all those reasons. And also check out
Zen and the Art of Waitering. .blogspot.com. You can become a fan at facebook.com/Zen and the Art of Waitering, and you can buy the book or you can do a sample download for free to get a taste of it at smashwords.com/book/view/13249. So check it out if you want to get a little Zen wisdom or learn more about the restaurant industry or have a laugh or whatever.
Just everything. I checked the latest blog out, and seriously, just reading it over, I was like, oh, this is applying to what's going on in my life right now. So
Thank you.
It's like the lasagna. It's multi-level. It hits. So support, respect, and let's do this again, man.
Yeah, until then,
long live good movies.